I love Fliptoons. I jumped into it, right? Like I was like, hey, I discovered it at Gen Con last year,
Yeah.
which I think a lot of people did, right? Like it was not
Yeah.
advertised going into Gen Con. Um, I was there day one. Somebody happened to have like walked through the vendor hall. They purchased it. I was running tournament, so I hadn't got a chance to get over there yet. And they brought it over. And they're like, we really should play this. This looks really cool. Like I
Hmm.
got a chance to demo it with people. And we sat down and we played it. I went over and demoed it, talked to them. We got some donations for my convention and Meeple-a-thon. So very generous company. We appreciate them for that. Um,
Hmm.
and I really enjoyed it. And then Fliptoon season two came out. They're going to roll it out at Gen Con 2, but they got a little bit more proactive about it, let people know it's coming and stuff like that.
Hmm.
Started playing it on BGA, and man, like you think you know a game
Yeah.
until they change all the cards in the game.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. Like, so it's the same mechanics, but all the cards on the back end, like I can play Fliptoons now and barely look at things, right? Like, oh yeah, I
Yep.
want that. I want that character. I want this. Like, I know what these characters do.
Hmm.
And now it's season two. I'm playing a game and I'm like, I have to read every card. Like,
Yeah.
how's that going to work with what I've got in my deck? And can I make that work? And
Absolutely.
the
Yep.
mechanics are the mechanics, obviously the drafting, dismissing the deck building side of it is identical,
Hmm.
but the way all the cards interact with each other completely different, right? Like now
Huh.
you've got cards that get bonuses for the cards directly above them. You've got cards that get bonuses for
I love it.
instead of just being in a specific row or column. Now it's dependent on, like, if you've got those cards that stack and you can get them into you get them to fall into the right spot where they stack, and then you've got a card below it that's going to gain points based off of cards directly
Mm.
above it, or you've got cards that move into that row. And then it's my understanding, I don't know if BGA does this. I haven't really played around with the settings. Um, but I know in with the physical copies, you could just shuffle together and go, right? And
Yep.
Yeah.
you could just have
Yep.
a larger stack and play both of them together. Um, so I don't know if BGA has really embraced that yet or
It
not,
doesn't seem like they have yet.
Yeah.
to where you can kind of play both seasons combined, which really
Hmm.
then adds a lot to the mechanics of like what cards are where. You've got
Hmm.
some cards in season two that do a lot more flipping. There's a
Oh, okay.
swordfish that'll flip cards on either side of him, right? He'll flip cards on both sides of him instead of just one card.
Interesting.
So really,
Yeah.
I really thought in season one that was one that I was surprised. Like there was this card, I don't remember which card. There's a card that'll flip a card, and then there's cards that benefit from other cards being flipped. But it didn't seem like you had a high probability of that happening unless you already
Right.
had that card, right?
Yep.
And it seems like season two's added a lot more of that. There's a lot more chance of cards being flipped and
Hmm.
things like that. So
I'm excited. I got my shipping notification for the physical copy of season two the other day. So it's currently sitting in Wisconsin. I could probably drive
uh-huh.
and pick it up before the mail actually got it to me. But I might actually have it before Gen Con, which is kind of exciting.
Mhm. I'm
I
having my
really,
copies picked up at Gen Con. I won't be able to make
yeah.
Gen Con this year, but I've got a friend
See,
going and he's going to bring them back for me. So
yeah, and I
Hey,
did
Bill,
this.
what are the
Oh, go
of
ahead.
your friend bringing a copy back and driving it to Wisconsin for me?
that's
On the,
funny.
on the,
Like,
yeah.
I don't know. I mean, if he drives through Wisconsin, I guess maybe, right?
So
Sorry,
So,
I just
my
just in
copies
case I had to throw that out.
Yeah,
yeah,
my
just
copy's in Wisconsin, so you can get my copy, and then I'll just get another copy. Yeah, no,
right.
it's no, I actually really like Fliptoons. I played it the other night at our game night. We had like a half hour left before like the game night officially
Mhm.
ended, and I was like, bro, like let's play Fliptoons. And one of the guys had played it a lot on BGA, but never in person, and the other guy had no idea what
Mhm.
it was, and we had an absolute blast, man. I get that game to the table a bunch. I took it out at summer camp. Like I'm working with high schoolers and speaking at a summer camp. And I brought Fliptoons out and they were like, yeah, this is awesome. I was like, yeah, it's,
Yeah.
but again, it's one of those
What's
games
the
that like you can
playtime
teach it.
on that game?
Oh, not long at all. I would say if you're playing with players who know how to play the game, I mean, you're 15, 20 minutes, like kind of like in and
Yeah.
out. Like it's
Tops.
not long.
Yep.
But I would say the average playtime is probably 30 minutes, just given the circumstance and situation. But if you're playing with people
That's
that have
even with a
played it, it's
teach.
fast. Yeah,
Yeah.
Yeah,
100%.
Teach is plenty of time. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
that's
It's
one of
one
my
of the games
favorite
that,
games to teach new people. Like if I'm going to a group where, you know, not
Mm-hmm.
sure like where they're at, man, I love teaching that. It's so easy and it's
Yeah,
like it's just I find super easy to get into. I love the
100%.
new card that lets you get points for what's in your deck still. because I'm
Yeah.
constantly buying too many cards. So
Yeah.
finally, I feel heard.
Yep.
Mm.
Yeah,
Mm.
exactly. Yeah, that's one that I was just talking about this with somebody. I don't remember who it was in CBG that was posting about trying to foster a group, right? They're trying to build a group
Hmm.
outside of the church, right? Just at a community location, trying to foster a community gaming group. That's something that I've been doing for about 3 or 4 months now. We've got our fourth event coming up where we do a monthly game night the last Friday of every month. But that's where I started was with that, right? Like we kind of did, we took some very simple, from a mechanic standpoint, simple games. So we took Fliptoons, we took Rebirth, and we took Guardlings, right? And we took those with the idea of like as we're meeting people that maybe aren't right, we don't know where they're at, right? They could be very strategic gamers. They could be, I've heard board games are fun now. What is this about, right?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
So we took these games that had a simple mechanic, right? Let me teach you flip tunes. And then I could also, as I teach you flip tunes, I could teach you that what you're doing is called deck building, right? And then
Mhm.
if you find people getting into that, then you could bring out the, hey, let's introduce Dominion to you, right? Like
Yep.
that's a heavier
Yeah.
deck building game. But I've taught you deck building and you like that, right? Rebirth is a very area control game, right?
Yep.
Very simple mechanic area control. Guardlings is a pretty simple bag building game, right? You're building a bag, drawing from the bag blindly. Very similar to deck building, but different concept of how you're laying things out. But it gave us the opportunity to kind of crack that nut a little bit, and we've had people, by God's grace, right? We're getting people that are coming back, which is where I see
Mm.
success.
Yeah.
We're
That's
getting
cool.
about we're getting an attendance of about 10 people every time we do it, but we're seeing people that are coming back that were there the month before. We're seeing new people every month that we've never met before,
Yeah.
right? So we're seeing that ability to kind of do that, and we've been able to roll out some more complicated games. This week or this next week when we do the game night, I'll be teaching container, right?
Oh
So a
yeah.
little
Okay.
heavier auction style game. But I've got a good group of people now that I think are at a point where they could take on a game like that, right? So we'll roll that out, see how that goes, and see where we go with that. So
Can I ask you a
um,
question, Bill?
yeah, sure,
How long? Because we're trying to do something similar here where I live in Wisconsin, and there is not like an active board gaming community culture or anything here. There are like some people I've met that like kind of play, some different board games and whatnot. So we're just decided to start something. But I'm curious how long it took for your group to get to a point where we started seeing like consistent people coming back, like the same people. What was that process like? Like how long did that take?
sure,
Was it quick? Did it take a
yeah.
while?
So I think some of it is right. So we partnered with there's a I don't know how to word it. Energy Tea is it's the company's called Energy on Main. They serve energy drinks, right? They're these teas. They're like a Life tea, right?
Oh, sure.
They're open during the day. I saw them post that they were interested in hosting some events in the evening, and I reached out to them and I'm like, would you be interested in doing a community game night? And they were like, yeah, that sounds right up our alley, right? Like, so we bring some tables and chairs, they serve the drinks in the evening, right? They get a little bit of business. They get people that are discovering them that maybe aren't able to come in the mornings, right? And stuff like that. So they see it as exposure too. So we started it, I would say the first month we saw a few new people and a few friends that we knew. The second month was when we met the first person that was kind of, oh, there's a gamer in the community we didn't know, right? That lives right here. We're in a very rural town in Missouri, about 2,000 people. So we had somebody show up and, we're talking to people like, what kind of games do you like to play? We're getting like Uno and right, like maybe
Right.
Azul, right? That
Yep.
was one that people were like, I love Azul, right? So we had some people that knew a little bit, but this guy shows up, he's like, I love Dune Imperium. And I'm like, whoa, we found a gamer. Like like
Yeah.
there's a gamer nestled in here, right? He and his wife had just moved to town and so by the third month we started seeing they were coming back, right? And our group of friends that we have kind of see it as the ability to kind of have a game night without that's the other side of it, right? Like you can have a game night without invading somebody's house.
Yeah.
Nobody's taking on the responsibility of hosting and cleaning and all that stuff. um, so I think by the third month we started seeing some repetition. Like I said, every month we've seen new people. We've seen somebody drop in. It's just like, I don't know. I'll play a card game and grab a tea, right? Like,
Mm.
we tend to do it for 3 hours. We do a 6 to 9, and that allows us to do. We can usually get 2 good solid games in, and then like Joe said, I bring kind of what he was just talking about. I bring a couple games um, like a Fliptoons or a Trinket Trove or something that you could play or teach pretty quickly. Pinatas is another one that plays pretty quick. Um,
Mhm.
and that's kind of like we found we're getting those people that are like, we got time for one more, right? And I'm like, well, we do, but let's roll out this. Like, let me show you Fliptoons, right? We could do that in 20 minutes, half an hour. So it's good for that kind of end of the night, or you've got like you split into 2 or 3 groups and you're playing, and this group wants to play the next game you're going to play, and you're waiting on
Mm.
them. So let's run out Fliptoons so we can kind of fill the time, and we're not just sitting around, right? Um, I think the key to it for us, at least what I've seen successful, is we have at least 2 to 3 teachers that are willing to sit
Mhm.
and teach a game, right? Because then you can split the groups into 2 groups. You don't have to have just
Yeah.
big party games playing.
Right.
Um, and then you gotta have a couple teachers that are willing to teach games. You could split into a couple tables, and then you usually have a lighter game or a couple of games that are maybe more familiar. Those Azules, the Ticket to Rides, stuff like that. That if both tables are running and somebody comes in, you can get them started pretty quickly, right? And they could just sit down and jump into a game, and then they could jump into the next teach as you're going, right? Um, the Ticket to Rides, they've got the smaller box Ticket to Rides, the Ticket to Ride New Yorks and stuff like that. Those play really, really quick,
Right.
especially if you know Ticket to Ride. If you don't know Ticket to Ride, they also play really quick and are easy to teach the mechanic. So then you can use that to teach, and then pull out the larger Ticket to Rides, and they already kind of know, like, oh, okay, I know what's going on, right? And you're not teaching at the complex level. So we've had a lot of success. I hope we continue to see the success.
I
Like I
love
said,
that. That's cool.
the next one's next week, so we'll see if it continues to roll. But I'm confident that it will.
Nice.
Um, so yeah, it's been good. What are you gonna
I
play? You
love that
guys
you
all
have it
want to
at a
jump into
neutral
something,
space too.
or yeah? Well, and that was the other goal, right? So I'm a big believer in the mission that Love Thy Nerd puts out there, right? It's being Christian in the nerd
Yeah.
culture. It's not being Christian in the Christian nerd culture, right? It's being out there, being a disciple, and being able to talk about your faith. And we take advantage of that while we're at the table, right? We tell my wife teaches at a Lutheran high school, right? We're part of the Lutheran church. We invite people like, hey, where's your church in the area? Oh, I don't like the couple that had just moved here. They're like, we just moved. We're kind of trying out churches. I'm like, oh, why don't you come to church with us this
Yeah.
Sunday, right? Like we'd love to have you sit with us and like introduce you to our church family and see if it's a fit. Like if it's not, it's not. But like, hey, let's come on in or whatever. But I'm a big believer in that. And while my church has an absolutely great space in the back of the parish office that works for something like this, that you could put 30, 40 people in very comfortably, um, we didn't want it to look like it was church driven.
Yeah.
And we were concerned that if we did that, we would only get church people, right? We would get the church to show up, but we wouldn't get the community to show up. So the idea was to start at a neutral location. And if we build up to the point where we are seeing a large group, God willing, if we see 20, 30 people show up and we're outgrowing the space, right? Then we can look at like, hey, let's invite people to the church parish office. But if we have people that are already in the community that are unchurched or even don't want to be churched, but they're already connected with us with the gaming group, then hopefully they will show up and bring people with them, and we can continue to grow that, right? But for now, I think that neutral space is the ideal space to basically be able to say like, hey, come join us, and sit and learn and play, without the pressure of, right, like, because I think that's what I love about Love Thy Nerd too, is it's not a pressure approach, right? We're not out there, there's not a Bible on the table, right? We're not beating people over the head with it. We're just having honest discussions about who we are. We're Christian people. You see, I always have a cross on. I normally have a Love Thy Nerd shirt on when I'm doing stuff like that, right? Just to kind of, it draws the attention. It makes the conversation kind of naturally happen. Like, what's this Love Thy Nerd thing you wear, right, or whatever. So
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I love the fact that you're so, and I know that's a huge part, Joe, of like, like your connection with Love Thy Nerd and in this specific channel. And that's been something that's, I think, one of the biggest things that attracted me to the Discord channel. I didn't know what Discord was
Hmm.
before this
Sure.
channel. This is literally the only Discord like channel, whatever you call it, server, I guess, that I'm a part of. And then I
Mhm.
found, the Love Thy Nerd one. But I love that approach that really leans into the relationships and
Yeah.
says, hey, um, this is a format for getting to know people. And of course, because we're believers, the prayer is that through these relationships, um, there's going to be opportunities to share Christ in a more direct way. But even if that door doesn't open, just I think being light in the darkness has an impact and letting that light shine just naturally through our example, whether it be how we play games or how we talk, in conversation and just talking about our life and just being open about who we are. I think sometimes I have found like in church settings, um, it's almost, man, and I say this like with like a lot of grace behind it, but like myself included, I'm including myself in this. Like it's easy to use that as like a cop out, you know, from living my life out loud for Christ everywhere else. It's like, well, come to church and I'll show you Christ there because it's hard to do in the world and not sure I know how,
Yeah.
but rather taking that step to say, hey, I want to show Christ out loud everywhere I am and let Christ shine through me no matter what I'm doing. And I just love that. And so I love, Bill, that that's like what I'm hearing and what you're saying. It sounds like is really cool. But I just wanted to throw that in there, Bill, and give you like a huge applause for whatever it's worth, man. I just appreciate you and Joe and everything you guys are doing on the server. And that was a big reason why I saw you guys on there. I wanted to hop on, just say hi, and appreciate everything you're doing and what you guys stand for, and the really the opportunities that you guys are encouraging people to take. And it's challenged me to do some things in our community in a similar way, to be a witness, and I love it. But I got to bounce because I got other stuff going on today. But appreciate
Yeah.
you guys. Thank you.
Oh, thanks for
See you,
popping
Mark.
in. Appreciate you, man. Praise God. It's by His grace we go for sure. We just want to
Yeah, for
love
sure.
people, and God's given us a cool tool in board games to be able to do that, man. So yeah, it's exciting.
Absolutely. All right. Bless you guys. Have fun.
You as well. Bye. So
All right. Well, I invited him to a table, but I canceled that table since he's going to bounce.
yeah.
I thought, we're supposed to be playing games virtually. I'd get a
Yeah,
table
yeah, yeah,
started.
yeah,
But
yeah. Again, I was like, do we jump into Fliptoons too? What are we doing here? What are
yeah,
we
we could.
playing?
That's what I was starting up. Yeah, I was
I
jumping
actually
I
on
want
had
to
board.
it,
see
and
you
then
guys play that.
all right, there. Ian has said he
Yeah,
wants to
let's
see
do
us
it.
play, so he's not even on
Yeah,
I'm the one
BGA.
audience.
No,
he's
hey,
gonna
no,
witness.
because
Yeah,
someone's gonna watch it on YouTube and see it played. So
There you go.
I will await the invite if you're already launching into a
yeah. I
server
will
there.
launch one up here. Let's do this. Christian board gamers. There we go.
Is it just gonna show up, or you got to be like in this and in that?
You'll
Joe will
see
share
it.
his screen here in a minute, so you'll see it here in
Well,
just a minute.
Okay,
you're gonna have to share your screen because of the recording. Because when I share mine, it kicks
Oh,
out
that's
the
right.
got it.
it drops the
That's
resource
right.
thing.
Let's see. Let's share. See if I can figure out which screen I'm sharing. Share that.
And then I'll
There
just
we go.
click the watch stream. Pow. And then now we're in. And then I will join.
All
And
right.
then I will go to the game. Perfect. We're in. Oh shoot. Yeah, you're right. I have to like hey, they got Patrick Starr on here, man.
Yeah, you got to like stop and read. Oh, that's
I gotta
funny. I
like
don't think I'd
read
seen
it.
it. I saw somebody comment the other day that Starfish was their favorite new card, and I hadn't really
Flip the
flipped
previously
the
placed
previous
card
place
unless you can't and
and stack it
stack. Oh,
and stack this card on it. Okay, interesting.
interesting.
The rat's an interesting one. So you stack him on the previous place card, but it then lowers the cost to dismiss a card in that stack, right? So
Oh, interesting. Yeah.
And hire any
Right.
dismissed card for nothing. Interesting.
You may hire
Yeah, there's
any
all kinds of.
dismissed card, so I can go into somebody
Yep.
else's deck.
Well, I think a dismissed card. Yeah, I guess so. I guess it
Because I
would be.
mean, like, what is that? If a player hires a raccoon, the player may immediately hire a card from their own or another player's
Oh,
dismiss file. Yeah, or their
Yeah.
own or another player's. So that would work so good with the snake, bro.
and it doesn't cost an action. You see that?
Yes. Oh, that
So
the
now you get to
raccoon,
hire any.
dude, the raccoon and the snake. Oh my gosh, that's the
Yeah.
combo right there. Sorry, we're nerding out here, Ian,
Yeah.
but
You're letting
it's
it all out.
it's because
So
we
you're
know the
supposed to
game.
keep your secrets.
No. Well, I mean, the snake won't be in this because it's
Oh.
but maybe there's another card that emulates it. But what the snake does in the
Right.
original Fliptoons is it dismisses the top card of your deck and then you draw another card. So if you have the
Mhm.
raccoon, you could hire that card back into your tunes. So the snake and the raccoon would work super well together. That's a fire combo right there. That's awesome. Because I was thinking, it's funny because I was thinking about that the other day. I'm like, man, the snake is good in the short term in the beginning of the game. He's not great late term. You know, when you have a better deck, you don't want to run the risk of like
Mhm.
dismissing certain
Yeah.
cards. So you don't like the snake late. But the raccoon adds value to a little bit of a later play. You can push the snake further, I think. Yeah, let's
Ian,
go.
you've
Okay.
played Fliptoons, is that right?
I've never played it, but I was just looking at it. I'm thinking about getting it.
Oh,
Yeah.
it's so good,
It's a pretty
man.
basic deck builder, so it's just so essentially what happens, and the reason we play it here is because it's all of it's open information, right? So
Hmm.
the hand is not hidden. You could see, I could see everything that's on Joe's board. He could see everything that's on mine. So you start with the same six cards. Everybody has the same six. In the lower left corner is their fame value, right? Which gives you your spending money, if you would, to be able to build your deck. So cards up here fall into columns of how much they're going to cost us. And then you can also dismiss a card for, is it 5? Does it cost you 5 to dismiss a card? I don't remember. So you can dismiss a card to your dismissed pile so that it's not in your deck anymore. Um, and then you're really, what it is it's a race to 30 points. The first person that could flip everything over, and this is the interesting part to it to me, the first person that could flip 6 cards over and end up at 30 fame will trigger the end of the game, but it triggers the final flip. So then once that's triggered, we'll reshuffle and flip 6 more. And when you flip that time, whoever has the highest amount wins. So just because you trigger the final flip doesn't mean you win the game, right? The other
Hmm.
person could win if they flip more on that last turn. Um, each time we go through here, plays a little different at 2 players. What's going to happen at 2 players is once we're done and we've selected everything, it's going to take the first card and last card of this pile and eliminate them, and
Oh.
then deal out new ones. Right? When you play at 3 or more, that doesn't happen, so that the market stays a little more static. But obviously, with 3 players or more, you're churning through cards a little easier anyway. So the mechanics there to kind of help with the catch up.
Hmm.
And then some of these cards will allow, like you have the 6 cards that you're putting out there, but some of these cards, like the rat, stacks on the previous card. So then you might end up with 7 cards out there, or 8, or however many. The gorilla here we see, if it's placed in the upper row, we get to place the next card in a row above. So now we end up with 3 rows, right? And we get the ability to,
Hmm.
so you get a few more cards out there and stuff like that. So it's pretty, once you kind of get going, it's a pretty simple deck builder, right? It just kind of flows. It's even, I've heard some people even challenge the deck building mindset, but I'm like, it's still like you're still building and shedding from your deck. So it's still got that deck builder mechanic. Um, our friend Daniel over at Around the Board, he likes to refer to it as an auto battler, right? Because it's kind of
Hmm.
Does
dropping
it
cards
awesome.
that are doing, yeah,
Yeah,
you're
it's
not in
got a little of
control
that.
of where the cards are going. Yeah.
Hmm.
So.
Yeah.
Okay. I
And
look
Joe's
forward
just waiting
to
for me to
play it.
quit talking while he's not
No,
taking his
no,
turn.
you're good. It's my turn. I just realized it was my turn, and I was like, I could probably do something here. I was even looking at like the starting cards, like they're so different. Um, I I dig it, man. I'm excited to get to get this. It's my first time actually even looking at it, so
Yeah.
I'm pretty excited about that.
I'm interested to see. So I've only played this once or twice with season 2. I noticed some of the cards, like the swordfish and the starfish, are, you can see they're identified as a fish. I wonder if there's something in the deck that rewards you for having so many fish, or gives you a plus for every fish in your hand, or something like that.
Mm.
Right? So we see a crab came out.
Placed in the middle column. If
So we
placed in the
see I
middle
have 6
column.
fame to be able to spend, right? So it grayed out these back 3 because I don't have enough money to spend on those. And I can kind of combine and do things here. I don't like flipping cards. I don't know if I imagine that mechanic plays a little better here, but in the first one, I didn't feel like there was enough of a mechanic to cause cards to flip. We'll take that
I don't
raccoon, see what we can do
understand.
with it though.
I don't understand the crab at all. If
Hire any
placed in the
dismissed
middle.
card for 0 for the raccoon. Was that just when you acquire the raccoon, not when it
Yeah,
flips?
that's when you buy it. Yep.
Oh, I thought it was at like when it flips up.
No, I don't think so. I think
Okay.
that's just it's
That
in
would
the
make more sense because I don't want your mosquito.
it's in the gray area, but I don't know. It might be
Mm,
because if I look at
I
the
guess we'll find out
ladybug,
here in a minute.
adjacent cards cost less to dismiss.
Right.
But I don't understand the crab. If placed in the middle column, return this card. And then when I read about the thing, it says something I don't understand.
Oop, it's flipping, so it didn't let me keep
Yeah.
that up. And sure enough, I didn't get the raccoon to flip up, so I won't know this turn. So crab, it's still calculating
Yeah,
this
it's
stuff. There we
still
go.
doing all the
The
stuff.
crab is returned if placed anywhere in the middle column, including a new row above a gorilla or stacked on another card. If
What
the
does it
crab
mean
is
the crab is
returned,
returned? What does that mean?
if the crab is returned when the player's deck is depleted or contains any crab cards, they immediately end their flip phase, leaving the crab in their deck. Return makes it sound like it goes back to the market or
Right,
back to the deck
but there's
because it's
nothing that
not
indicates that.
discarded. It's not discarded and it's not dismissed.
Right.
So I don't know.
Crab
What
is
do we have
returned.
something down here about what return means? Oof, that's tiny.
That is tiny. All right.
See if we have something about the word return. It's my turn, but I'm now
No,
slowing things down while I
you're all
look
right.
that
You're
up.
all right.
So refill the market. Yeah. Final flip. Keywords. Return. Place a card face down on the bottom of a player's deck. If a player's deck has no cards when a card is returned, the return card becomes the player's deck, and they continue their flip phase if any empty slots remain in the grid. So it goes on the face down on the bottom of your deck, is what return means.
Got it.
Okay. So return the previous place card unless it can't be. That place this card in its space. Micro, when dismissed, you may hire card in the market for 0 and refill. When dismissed. All right. By him. And we'll get rid of one of these mosquitoes. The other thing to point out, Ian, is this is happening. The other mechanic that I didn't explain, when the cards are put out here, you see they've got a ranking, right? So there's a 22, 18, 17. They're always kept in order of the ranking. So they don't, it's a little different than most markets where they just slide and things become cheaper, right?
Okay.
So if you end up with a bunch of highly ranked cards, you may end up with one inexpensive. But if you've got lower ranked cards, you're going to end up having to pay more money for them. So the market concept is a little different to me. Oh, that hen. Oh, it came up anyway. I was gonna say that hen went away. So she gets points if you have bigger cards in your hand, as long as they're ranked 6 or higher. And I mean, based off of what we're seeing just in this game alone, it seems like there's a lot of cards ranked 6 or higher. Seem to be a lot of highly ranked cards.
Yep.
And then first players going to change back and forth. When you're playing 2 players, it's interesting because you always have kind of back-to-back turns, right? So Joe took the last turn last round, first turn this round.
Oh, so the mongoose is kind of like the snake, and that's where the raccoon works well. So dismiss the bottom card of your deck unless it blah blah blah, the dismiss symbol, and the top card, and add the top card of the tune deck. So it's like the snake, but it works the opposite way. So you dismiss the bottom card of your deck.
Wonder what happens if you don't have a card at the bottom of your deck.
I don't know. I'm gonna buy it just
So
in
it,
case because I like to
yeah,
learn how things work. So
yeah. I do that a lot too. I got a chance this weekend was CantCon in Kansas City, right?
Yeah.
Which an interesting convention whose name started from people that couldn't go to Gen Con, so they would say if you can't con, right? But interesting that yeah, I do see the raccoon was when hired now, so I hired him at the wrong time.
Oops.
Oh darn.
Oh, and there we go. The clownfish says he gains if he's adjacent to at least another fish. So there is a mechanic there that wants you to have other
Mm,
fish in your deck.
that's funny. I
All
just like
right.
accidentally opened my email in the live screen, but it was only up for half a second.
Well, but we're sharing my screen, so you shouldn't see it anyway,
Well, we're
right?
Yeah, I
sharing.
didn't.
Yeah, but I'm recording my screen, so like
Oh, you're
Oh,
recording your screen. I didn't
yeah,
realize that.
so it's recording on here. So we're sharing yours, we're recording mine because that's why you have to
Gotcha.
do it so that we can actually see the game being played.
Adjacent to at least one
No
fish. I
one
want
sees my
that.
turns; they just see the outcome of them. They're all seeing your turns, which is perfect.
hmm.
I can. Why don't I can? Let's do this, maybe. I don't know. Yeah, so CantCon, I got a chance to get to the table with Container and the Game Makers, which I just got in time to take to CantCon. Really, really like the Game Makers. If you get a chance to play that, I've got the All In, the Completionist Pledge or whatever, which is if you've played Foundations of Rome, it's kind of the same idea. Like it's very overproduced. The pieces are all chunky and fun and whatever. But the mechanics of it are a lot of fun. It's simultaneous play, which is really kind of cool. Um, Stack this card on the card above. I like stackers. What is Capybara? If there are at least 3 cards remaining in your deck. So that's the one that Mark was talking about, right? So you're going to get Capybara is going to give you points for having a large deck, right?
Yeah,
Uh,
that's cool.
yeah, because that's really one of the strategies with season 1 that at least my strategy that I've discovered with it is that having control over your deck, right? Having a very small deck so you know what's going to flip, right? And trying to make sure, like, obviously, if you got stacking cards, you're going to end up with 7 or 8, but you're trying to get control over, like, I know this can produce 30, right?
Hmm.
As opposed to just having a large deck and hoping things come out. Um, so having a card that now rewards you for having more cards in your deck is an interesting twist to that, changes the strategy a little bit. So. But the game makers simultaneous play each round comes up and everybody does their turn at the same time. So it flows pretty quickly. I played with 3 people with a teach, played in under 2 hours. And there's a lot going on it. There's a complexity to it, but the simultaneous play, once you kind of got the idea of what you were doing, it moved pretty quick. So it's on BGA as well. So anybody that's listening out there and wants to jump into a game of game makers, I'm happy to jump in. I can teach, I can play, whatever we want to do. So Joe's trying to do his math now. Like,
Yeah.
now we gave him math, addition and subtraction. His son's
Bring
gonna
your
come
boy
in and be
in.
like, "Ha, yeah, like, ha, your turn." Yeah. So for the recording purposes, just in case I have my own Ferris Bueller moment, I do this over my lunch shift. That's why
Yeah,
we do
yeah,
this at
yeah,
this
yeah,
time of
yeah.
day.
Exactly.
I take a lunch hour and play this and talk to Joe for a little bit. Did get a chance though. Cat was fun. As we've talked about here, and I talked to Joe a lot about, he's mentored me through the idea of like doing a Christian board game retreat. That's coming up first weekend in August. We're doing that. We're now uh, a little over 60 people coming in attendance. Tickets sold.
Awesome.
We've got 3 rooms left to rent that they each have 2 beds in them, but we started with 30 rooms in the hotel that we're in, so we've rented almost the entire hotel at this point.
Wow.
Yeah, I'm excited about the turnout. Got a chance to talk about that at CantCon. It always amazes me. I was not raised churched, and I was not, especially not involved with any Lutheran churches until about 15 years ago. I started going to a Lutheran church and I went through adult confirmation and things of that nature. My wife, raised in a Lutheran church, her dad was a Lutheran pastor. She's a Lutheran school teacher. It always amazes me how small that Lutheran world is. You start talking to people, and next thing you know, they know who you're talking about, or they know somebody or whatever. Um, was talking to somebody about the Christian board game retreat. Um, mentioned that uh, where we were having it was on the campus of St. Paul Lutheran High School. Immediately kind of went to describing St. Paul Lutheran High School because that's usually what you have to do, right? Is kind of explain what it is. Like this is a school that the kids live here. It's a dorm. It's a boarding school, which is unheard of these days. Um, and was talking about it. He's like, "Oh no, I know St. Paul pretty well." He's like, "I'm a Lutheran pastor out here in Kansas." He told me where he was the pastor, and I was like, "Oh yeah, I've got one of my best friends is a pastor at a church not too far from you here." And he's like, "Oh yeah, that's Jacob." And I was like, "Well, of course you would know the pastor the next town over, right?" And he's like, "Yeah, no, we went to seminary together." Like, and I mentioned who my father-in-law was, and when I came home and talked to my wife, I was like, I met this guy and he knows Jacob." And she's like, "He went to college with me. Like, I'm surprised he didn't bring me up." Yeah, so I'm just like, why is everybody connected, right?
Gaining some options there.
Yeah. So a lot of fun. I've got to meet a lot of good people.
I'm trying not to get too accustomed to the market because you're gonna probably get what I want. Like
Yeah, I don't know,
if I
man.
just
There's
look
just
away,
not.
if I just look away, then
Doesn't feel as bad.
yeah,
My problem is there's a lot of stuff out there that wants me to have a fish, and I haven't. I steered away from the fish early on,
yep, I
so
did the
it's got
same.
me kind of handcuffed. Got me
I think you
handcuffed
need to
where
do
that's
some
not going to do
lobbying,
me a whole lot
Joe.
of good.
What'd you
Yeah.
say?
You need to do some lobbying, try to get them to stay away from the card you want.
Yeah,
Yeah,
no,
look at that card over there, Bill. It's really good. Like,
yeah,
why
yeah,
wouldn't you
yeah,
want
yeah.
that, right?
I spent a lot of time look. The last time I played, I like dismissed way too many cards way too early, and I was like, what have I done? That was dumb.
One of the first times I played Fliptoons with a group of people on BGA, one of the guys was shedding from his deck early, and by the third turn, we suddenly realized all that was left in his deck were cards that would not generate any fame. So he was just dead the rest of the
That's
game. Like
Yeah,
terrible.
it
Yeah.
left
yeah,
him, it left him in the game. He had to keep playing, but
yeah.
he
That's
didn't have
rough.
any fun, so he couldn't dismiss anything and he couldn't hire anything. So he literally just every round just had to hit pass and watch us play. I
Poor
was like,
guy.
oh yeah, what a poor mistake to make there. Like that's rough. So yeah, I don't feel like I'm doing all that good here. Joe's flipping all kinds of cards over there all of a
I
sudden.
got a lot of stuff going on,
Stacking
which
stuff.
is
Yeah.
Got shedding stuff and picking stuff up. But Patrick Starr's on the board. And,
well, it's because I got that mongoose. Like I'm using him pretty early, and it's making things work well. But like I'm losing cards, but simultaneously I'm gaining. Um, yeah.
Yeah.
yeah, this is
Bam! I have so many dismissed
it is
cards. I
good.
can buy any dismissed card though. I love that. I can get anything. I can even get your
Yeah,
stuff. I can even get your stuff.
we're
And
closer in points than what I anticipated. I thought
yeah.
all the cards flipping up, I just assumed. One of the cool things about BGA for those listening, and Ian, you said you don't really use it a whole lot, but or don't use it at all. Um, not only could you play games on here, but Brian was sharing with me the other day. Brian, who runs our BGA community, was sharing with me the other day that you can actually um, spectate, right? Which I knew you could spectate, but you could share a link to this out to the group, and they can just you can click the link and it'll bring you to this table, and you can just watch it played, right? So you can the equivalent of walking around a convention and seeing somebody playing something and just stopping and watching the table to see what's happening, right? So he
Yeah.
picked the
That's
card I wanted. I think that was very nice. Very Christian of you, Joe.
What?
Save that. What? What did I do? Salamander's interesting. I like the graphic on it too. If the next card revealed is rank 1 or lower, return it. And she's like got a clipboard and just tell them get out of here, right? Fun. The art will draw me into a board game faster than anything, especially seeing it as I walk past it on a shelf or on a table or whatever. I'll stop and just be like attracted to the art. The original Fliptoons, a little more than this one, I think, had kind of that retro cartoon, that Betty Boop style art,
Yeah.
right? That era, right? And it really kind of caught my eye just because of that. I'm like, ooh, what's this thing? This looks cool, right? There's a board game out there it's a co-op kind of boss battler game. What is that called? I had it for a while and it just wasn't getting to the table enough. So, but it shares that art style. Gosh, I can see the box, but I cannot make out the name in my head for some reason. So, oh,
Yeah, I was gonna say you and
close the
I are
gap a
only
little bit.
we're only
Yeah.
one fame separate. Yours was much slower than mine. I already had all that information, so but I think it's because you're
Uh,
screen shared.
yeah. Let's see. I got a flipped card now. That hurt me. Let's see. So he's gonna get rid of that one for me.
What you gonna get there, Mr. Bill?
Yeah. Let's try that. See what happens. Oh, I can hire a card for 0. What? Hire a card in the market and refill. Oh, okay. Yeah, I mean, it's the end of my turn. It's going to refill anyway, right?
Mm-hmm. Interesting.
Oh, I guess so that's interesting. So I guess based off of that, I would think if you dismiss that card first, so if you dismiss the crow, you then are able to claim something from the market. You still have an action left, so then you can refresh the market, which would cause another card to become available. So you might be able to. There's nothing there you like, right? It's interesting. Ooh, it's a baseball player. I'm in. When hired, dismiss a face-up card in your grid for nothing. Stack this card on the previous placed card. We definitely found some lower priced or some lower ranked cards finally. So
I have a question. Is all the flipping and all like the calculations, are they time consuming when you have the game not on BGA, or is it just extra convenient on BGA?
Well, it's extra convenient on BGA. It can take time. It
yeah,
depends on some of them, but it's not like
Yeah.
crazy. You'd be surprised.
Okay.
yeah, the flipping really doesn't take that much time. Calculating the score can take you a minute, right? To see what your fame is. Everybody gets a card when you're at the table. There's a card that has a chart of scores, right? And you kind of you use a card to designate to the table where your fame is at that point. So you calculate your own and just kind of share it. So at
Okay.
least it all happens simultaneously. You're not going around the board like calculating somebody for them, unless you're playing with kids. And that's the other good thing about this guy. Like it can play down to a lower age level, so
Mm-hmm.
you can kind of be teaching children a deck building mechanic, right? So what you got, Joe? We both flipped worse this time. That's horrible.
Yeah, yeah, we did.
Joe and I like to get in competitions on Tuesdays of like who can lose, right?
Who
Like
can? Yeah.
Oh wow.
who can lose the best, right? Like we can it's like when you're watching a baseball game and everybody's committing errors, but then all of a sudden the pitcher's also pitching poorly and you're like, why are both teams trying to lose the game? This doesn't make sense, right?
That's dumb. I'm gonna end my market phase. I'm not doing the other thing. I don't.
This is horrible.
Oh my gosh, we just got the exact same run back in there.
Yeah, I cannot. Guess I'm gonna take her. I think she'll do me some good at least.
Yeah, not
Did I
me.
end up?
That's why. Yeah, I was
I'm
when I had
pretty sure.
originally. This time I dismissed the mongoose. It's time for it to be pulled. We'll see how
Sloth.
well
Oh,
this
and he
goes.
disappeared. Dang it. Let's see
Well,
what
we're
he
in a
did.
we're in a
Stack on the
two-player
previous
game,
play.
so we lose things in the.
Yeah, I was trying to look at him on top of the discard pile so I can at least see
Oh,
what he
there's
does.
actually nothing left in the deck. Interesting.
Oh, I think that triggers the end of the game, right? I think this
Uh,
either this becomes final flip or the next one is because there's nothing left in the deck to replenish the market.
they don't reshuffle the discard. I guess there wouldn't be a ton in there, but
Oh, I don't know.
I don't know in a two-player
I guess
game.
we're about to find out. Oh, look at all the cards that got flipped on me. I got
Oh
3
man.
cards face
Yeah,
down. That's
but
not
you're going to
helpful.
be bummed because your score is not high. My fame is yeah.
Yeah, 27 to 16.
Yeah, you got a bunch of flip cards there.
It's
So
still me going. So after the market phase, dismiss this. Fired. Dismiss a face-up card. Maybe toss the crow. Still have enough. Oh, I can hire a card because I tossed the crow. Oh, you get points if there is at least one hen or rooster in the market or any other player's grid. That's interesting. Still have 6 fame. Yeah, we're good there. Interesting. Well, you got 2 cards left, so hope you weren't wanting cards, right? What happens? What's in game? Refill the market. Clean up. Otherwise, a new round starts. If playing with solo or 2 players left, must. I'd have to go back to the rule book to figure out what happened. I mean, we're going to find out here in just a minute when your turn's over. What happens when the deck's empty?
sorry, give me 1 second.
Joe's answering emails over there.
Yep, that's a little bit it.
Yeah.
I was wondering with 3 players, does the deck run out even faster?
Well, it doesn't. Well, I guess it might, but I don't.
No.
I honestly have only seen the deck run out once or twice playing.
Yeah, in a two-player game, you're always dismissing cards, so the market goes through faster.
Yeah.
In a
Oh.
3+ game, you don't dismiss the, you're not discarding the end cards like you do in this. So that the market it could,
There's
but
a
it doesn't.
Okay.
yeah, there's a very good, I think, solo mode to this too. I play a lot of games solo. And it's a race to get to 30 points before the deck runs out. Same rules here. It's going to dismiss first and second card, or first and last card each time, and then refill the market. But you also, I think you eliminate blindly. You eliminate a certain number of cards to start the game, so your starting deck is smaller too, and then you've got fewer rounds to try to get your fame up to 30 in order to win. So,
What's the maximum player count on this game?
4.
oh, is it 4? Yeah,
Okay.
Yeah.
I wasn't sure if it was 4 or 5. So. Joe, I didn't teach this to you. I took this to Grand Con last year. We never got a chance to sit down and play. What did I teach you at Grand Con? I don't remember now. We were going to play
A
this, and
place
we
for all my
didn't.
books. A place for all my
A
books.
place for all my books. That's right.
Yep.
Yeah. And we both got destroyed by your wife, which is pretty typical when we sit at a table with her. So, yeah. Joe and I play the same games at home. They're called My Wife Wins. So
I play that game.
100%. Yes.
yeah.
I play that same game.
I usually like to introduce a new game to my wife because I've got a chance the first time, right? The first game I've got a good chance, and then the second time, once she's kind of played through one and she's like, "Oh, I kind of see the strategy," I'm like, "Dang it!"
We're letting
if
them
you
win,
see
right?
if you see the strategy, oh yeah, 100%, right?
Dude, there is nothing in that.
This will air weeks from now, so it won't matter at that point. But 14th wedding anniversary for me today, so
Awesome.
That's amazing.
Congratulations.
Yeah, praise God.
thanks. Yeah,
I
I
can't.
tell her all the time, I'm so thankful you settled, right?
Hmm.
She hates that joke, but I tell her all the time.
She hates it.
Yeah,
We're actually at 14 also.
cool.
We celebrate 11 in 2 weeks.
2 weeks
Awesome.
Yeah, August 1st.
at Gen Con? Oh, just after Gen Con.
Well, it's yes,
Is that
Gen
Sunday
at
of? Yeah.
GenCon. Yeah.
Okay, so it ran out, so it says final flip. Next flip phase will be the final flip. So because the deck was completely empty, it triggered final flip. I wonder if it means this one or the next one. I give it meant this.
Next flip
Find out here in
phase
just a
will be
second.
the final flip.
This one.
So if
It
it's
just says
this one,
It
we'll
says
find out
final.
here in just a
Yeah, it says
second.
final flip.
Yeah. So it'll calculate the fame and then tell us who won. Looks like Joe's
Oh,
gonna win.
Yeah, I won by 2, bro.
Won by 2 points.
Yep.
Neither
And
one of us could get to 30. He won the race of mediocrity,
I
right?
won the race of media. That accurately sums us up. Like in the fact that neither of us are very good at winning games, and so we won the race to mediocrity. That's fantastic. We didn't
Neither
even
one of
win.
us could
We
win
couldn't
it,
even.
but
We
Joe
couldn't. Yeah.
lost less
The
badly,
Hey,
right?
look, the most fame I got the whole time was 27. So to finish with 26 and win, I feel that's pretty good.
That's funny.
So yeah, that's hilarious. Okay, yeah, there's some cards in there,
Now,
man, and actually, it does intrigue me to want to play them with play with the
this is what
other set as well. But
this
that
is
just
what gives Joe PTSD when he sees my BGA. Right, I got 17 tables waiting for me to take my turn.
uh-huh.
oh wow.
Right? Yeah, I tend to play. I load up on games. If we look here, I think it'll tell me.
Oh, it's
Yeah,
crazy.
I'm at 48 tables right now, right? So it tends to.
Oh,
I try to stay between 30 and 50. 48's high. I don't typically go quite that high. I try to stay closer to 30 to 40. When I'm down around 20, I find that they just don't. I don't end up with as many turns. Like it takes a while, a couple hours before I have something to do. Um,
Yeah, you
but a lot
can't.
of these with the same people. Most of these, almost all of these, with just people from Christian Board Gamers Group. So absolutely love the community that we've built and been able to play with, and we
Yeah,
see kind of all of them mixing
I
in here. And
it's so funny because we had that Azul table open and like you guys like I'm in the middle of like summer camp. I don't even know what I was like doing. I was just grabbing things to help progress the game forward. And I looked at the score and I was like 91 was what Brian had and I finished with or Quincy, one of the two, and I finished with
yeah.
26. I was like, what did I even
Oh,
do? All I
Quincy
literally
destroyed us in that
yeah,
game.
all I literally did was help push the game along because I was not like I was like, cool, I'm grabbing that. Fine, I need to go. I'm like working I'm doing the camp thing, but I didn't want to like
This is
keep it stuck. And I still can't
this is the
figure
one
out
he
why.
talked about, right?
Yeah, I can't
Yeah.
figure out
So
why
almost
my notifications will not pop up on my phone. I have everything set. It
it's
does
funny.
not tell me anymore when it's my turn. And then I get the email of doom that's like, you're running out of time. And I'm like, well, why didn't you tell
Right.
me earlier? Like, I wouldn't run out of time
Right.
if your dang notifications would work. And so I still can't figure
Did
out
you
what's
check
going
to
on
see
there.
if Did you check to see if it's sending the notifications to your spam folder?
I shouldn't
Because
even get it.
it should be emailing you to letting you know it's your turn, right? That's where the notification comes from.
Well, I actually have it even set where it gives me in-app notifications, but or at least it
I didn't know
was.
there's not an app though, is there?
Yeah,
Oh, I thought it was just a browser based. I didn't realize there was a BGA app. I
yeah.
mean,
There's
it's
nothing
browser
in.
based, right? So
There's nothing in my.
weird.
No,
But
yeah,
this is the game Joe
my
was talking about. I didn't even realize till he just mentioned it that it's basically an
yeah
admin table, right?
my
So there's
BGA
Quincy
is an
is
app. I don't have. It's
okay.
not
So
web
there's
based.
Quincy is one of the moderators at CVG. I'm the server admin. That's Brian. Creating King is Brian, who runs our Christian Board Gamers community on BGA, and then Joe. But yeah, I noticed this like Quincy and Brian and I play a lot of games together. It's a challenge for me to try to play as well as them. So me coming in a point ahead of Brian, I considered that a win, even if I lost to Quincy. But yeah, I noticed it as it was going. I was like, and don't get me wrong, you could see we were talking about this at the last broadcast. If you're watching this, like you've got elo, which is your ranking in that game, right? How well you're doing at that game, and your elo goes up every time you win. If you play at a bigger table, you get points for finishing kind of in the middle. You see, Brian lost 13 points, and that's partially because he came in third, but also because a lower ranked player finished ahead of him, right? And then, so the goal of elo is to try to like keep you matched up with people that are similar to your playing style. So when you look at those elo scores, you would assume Quincy would win that game, right?
Yeah.
But for as we were going into nearly the final round, I noticed the scores kind of stacking up on the boards, and I'm like, Quincy is just murdering this table.
Mm.
Like there's nobody even close to him, and
Yeah.
it just kept getting worse, right? So a lot of fun though. Those guys are great to play with. So
Yeah.
all right, guys, that's the time we got for today.
Yep. I
Hopefully you
actually got to
enjoyed
get moving.
conversation. We did get a game in this week to still make sure that it's still Bill and Joe play games virtually, right?
Virtually. Yep. 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 Yep.
So
Yep.
virtually and literally. So um,
Yeah.
yeah,
Thanks
so
for the
that's it for
teach,
this
guys.
week.
Yeah.
Hey, thanks
Yeah.
for hanging out with us.
Appreciate
Appreciate you
it.
jumping in and
Yeah. It's a
not
game.
bailing
It's
when you heard you were being recorded. So
yeah. 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 It's a game worth. It's a game worth playing for sure. It's a lot of
I'm
fun.
gonna grab it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
yeah,
It's
no.
not bad.